Hello and welcome to Salford Now. I'm Laura Burns.
And I'm Charlie Mulholland. Here's what's coming up in today's programme.
I couldn't believe that I was never going to see him again, that I was never going to talk to him again, that I was never going to have a phone call again. One of the last things he said to me was, "I'm so glad you're my mum." But it still didn't stop him doing what he did.
Lucy to Salford Now, the mother of a Salford man who took his own life, speaks out.
And the Salford Brewery takes the bronze in a Northwest Independent Brewery Award.
Beer has been made in collaboration with Kellogg's recently, and it was a new, innovative beer. And we don't enter many of our beers in awards, but we just wanted to see how this one would fare. And it did pretty well. You know, the competition was stiff, but we managed to get a bronze in this instance.
Good afternoon. A working class movement library opposite the University of Salford's main campus has recently opened an exhibition to bring back Salford's lost history. Our reporter Owen Widdowson has more information.
In 1937, 4,000 Basque children evacuated their homes in Spain because their lives are at risk from bombing as a result of the Spanish Civil War. 25 of those children called Salford home, but it's been a piece of the city's history that has been forgotten by the majority. However, Here at the Working Class Movement Library in Salford, an exhibition is aiming to remind people of this historic period over 80 years after they took place. The display brings light on the refugees who made the voyage to England and the positive response they received upon their arrival. Claire Hignett, a local artist, was inspired to tell the story of the Basque refugees by creating 25 dolls to represent each of the children who settled here in Salford.
I think it was 25 children came to Salford and stayed in an orphanage on Seedley Road. I went to the Quaker Community House for lessons, and I lived just around the corner and I knew nothing about this story at all. I made a doll about each child, and then each doll was put within the bag to keep it safe. So it's so you could see it, but you know, also they're separate, like refugees, like any child that's being displaced, any person, they're not actually fully part of something, they're separated. So the plastic became this separating thing that keeps them safe and separate. Historical story that's been lost, and I think it's a historical story that's really, really relevant in the times we're living in at the moment. I think it's to make people think, because it's made me think. So I think certainly the artwork has been to make people think and to question without actually throwing politics in people's face, and to start people having conversations, you know, particularly about the sense of welcome, that these children were so welcomed. I think that's a conversation we need to have.
Owen Widowson, Salford Now.
This week is Hate Crime Awareness Week. New Home Office statistics have revealed there are 8,984 hate crimes reported between 2018 and 2019 in Greater Manchester alone. England and Wales saw a 10% increase in reported hate crime.
Now, Lisa Simpson is a disabled choreographer who is currently working with the students of Salford Dance. She will be creating a piece that will be performed next month at the Adelphi Theatre. Our entertainment correspondent Renee McIntosh went to find out more.
Meet choreographer Lisa Simpson. She's a wheelchair user with quadriplegic cerebral palsy and cannot communicate verbally. However, through the use of a dance translator and other visual means, she is able to create amazing dance pieces and is currently here working her magic for the dance students of Salford University.
So Lisa's been commissioned to work with the second and third year dancers to create a 20-minute long piece for their end of year assessment. So that's why we're here.
Lisa watches over every dancer to ensure that they work as one to create a piece that flows. She continues to communicate with her dance translator and does not shy away from giving constructive criticism. Her creation, in collaboration with others of the Simpson board, has provided a basis for her to communicate her ideas to dancers with great success.
In 1995, the Simpson board began to develop and I had the ability to choreograph. It was an incredible feeling, especially since I always assumed my disability would stop me being a choreographer. Based upon the original board, we can easily develop different boards for different groups based on their individual needs. Here are some versions of the board we have already adapted to fit the needs of the participants I work with.
The Simpson board is covered with words, diagrams and symbols needed to create a dance piece. Users are able to operate their eyes to point to the movements they want dancers to make and the direction they want dancers to move in. A dance translator is then able to sit by the user of the board and speak these instructions aloud. Salford Dance students have taken brilliantly to Lisa's style of teaching and praise the university for bringing her in to create the dance pieces for them.
Having Lisa here now is such a massive step for the university, towards inclusive dance being a big part of the curriculum.
Yeah, I think it's really, really important that it's for everybody and everybody should be able to enjoy it, and I don't see why it should not be a thing.
Lisa has had a huge impact on everyone around her and continues to inspire everyone she comes in contact with.
The traditional ingredients for beer are hops, water and barley, but down the road at Seven Brothers they are using more unusual ingredients than ever.
Yes, last year the brewery created a beer using cornflakes, and now they've gone one step further and used old family Cocoa Pops.
Alistair Hancock went down to have a taste.
Seven Brothers Brewery, a Salford-born brewery that took home bronze at the North West Society of the Independent Brewery Awards for their Sling It Out stout beer associated with Kellogg's. Facing tough competition from various brewers in the region, the company came third with their unique Cocoa Pops flavoured beer.
We don't enter many of our beers in awards, but we just wanted to see how this one would fare. And it did pretty well. You know, the competition was stiff, but we managed to get a bronze in this instance.
And the partnership has benefits on both sides.
Have a lot of surplus waste, so there'll be issues with quality in terms of the produce that they're making, whether it's been overbaked. You know, Cocoa Pops in this instance might be all clumped together, they're the wrong shade, and it doesn't actually make it into the box. And they were looking for ways of reducing food waste. And they approached us to see if we could actually use this in the brewing process, and we could.
CEO also spoke about how the business benefits the environment.
Having a unique angle like this is really important, but no more important really than the actual issues which it's addressing, which are the food waste issues. That's more important to us in terms of we're striving to become as environmentally friendly as possible. We're looking for ways of, using renewable energies and stuff and everything like that in the brewing process. So that issue is just as important as being a unique brewery.
One of the workers, Jack Dixon, showed us how the Cocoa Pop beer is made.
I'm just digging out the mash tun, so these are the spent grains. This is where all the sugars arrive, the yeast to create alcohol. So we mix that with hot water, that releases sugars and enzymes, break down the proteins, and that gets transferred and boiled up with hops. This is getting sent away to go to a farmer to be used for food. We
are Salford Brewery first and foremost. We're really proud of the fact we grew up literally 5 minutes around the corner from here. At the end of the day, everything that we do is all about community. The community drives everything that we develop and promote. We open the doors, the brewery doors are open. Our bar in Manchester, everybody's welcome there as well. We have events here every last Friday of the month. People can come in and do brew tours. So the people of Salford, I think, have really taken us to, into their hearts. And we're really pleased with that, because that is what it's all about. It sounds really crazy to say this, but the beer is almost secondary to everything that we do. It's just the glue that knits everything together. It's all about community and family and being open and inclusive.
Not only winning bronze at the SEBRA Awards, the Seven Brothers Brewery are a finalist in the Salford Business of the Year Awards thanks to this Cocoa Pop beer. Alistair Hancock, Salford Now.
Now, students at Worsley College have finally packed away their wellies as they open the Handmade Forest to the children of Forest Green Nursery. Our reporter Helen Mather went to check it out.
8 students from Worsley College have turned an unused garden into a magical and playful forest as part of their personal development scheme. The scheme has encouraged the students to get involved with helping the local community,
because it helps the younger generation to understand about nature and learn stuff just outside, not just inside in school. And it helps the community around because it's got plants and that.
The students wanted to improve the nursery life of the Forest Green children by creating them a carefree play area.
It's been a challenging week for the students at Worsley College, who have created this magnificent garden for the nursery children at Forest Green. They've worked through cold temperatures and pouring rain, but done it all with a smile on their face to get this incredible garden ready.
The programme was originally created to help NEET students gain soft skills such as communication, teamwork and confidence.
Confidence boost that it gives them to see the distance travelled and the cause and effect of, if I put this work in, something good comes out of it at the end, is really, really positive. Quite often they've not really ever finished anything in their life, or if they've tried and failed according to a school, if they've not passed an exam, whereas they kind of can't fail here because whatever they've done something good.
Because obviously if we get a job or something like this, then we know what we're doing.
And it gives us new skills as well.
Helen Mather, Salford Now.
It's fine for the voice read. Aston Villa fan Alfie Perkins boasted on social media about escaping a prison sentence. Challenged on smiling when leaving court, Perkins tweeted, "Like nobody would be smiling after being faced with the prospect of prison and the end result being only having to pay £350. Wallop." We contacted the University of Salford, but they declined to confirm whether he is still studying accountancy and finance at the university. Now for sports with Emma.
Thanks, Laura. Salford resident Chantel Gaston Hurd has a broken world record for running a half marathon backwards in 2 hours and 27 minutes and 9 seconds, beating her own record. Here she is showing us how it's done. It looks easy, but the strain on those calves will be unbelievable. From running backwards to boxing in the ring, the AJ Bell Stadium will host a night of amateur boxing on Friday the 25th. Attending the event will be boxing coach Gary Booth, who spoke to our reporter Dan Wright.
It's an amateur boxing show based at the AJ Bell Stadium. We're hoping for 14 bouts. Give them something constructive to do.
Yeah.
Keep them off the computers and whatnot. And keep them off the streets, because you got to get the kids interested in boxing.
This isn't the right script. Who knows, maybe they'll find the next Tyson Fury. That's all for sport.
Thanks, Emma. Now, The Voice UK is back in Salford and fans were eager to meet the stars as they arrived for the red carpet. Sophie Buxton has more.
The Voice is back here at Media City UK. Tonight the coaches and presenters will be walking down the red carpet before the search to find the UK's next great voice begins.
Voice UK 2019.
Fans didn't let the rain dampen their spirits as they waited patiently to catch a glimpse of this year's coaches as they took to the red carpet. Excited to see tonight.
Ollie.
Are you really? Are you big Ollie fans?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
And have you been watching the Voice in the past?
Yes, I've been to see Ollie a few times now on The Voice. Yeah. I wanted to touch his hand tonight, but I don't know if I'm going to get to.
The reason I'm here is because my granddaughter wants to try and get a photograph of them. We've been here all day waiting.
Probably Tom Jones, even though he didn't spend like a lot of time like, outside, he just went like just kind of straight in, just like.
I think he's cool enough. He can just get in contact. Will.i.am returns this year alongside new judge Meghan Trainor. And auditions begin this Friday. Sophie Buxton, Salford Now.
And finally today, our reporter spoke to a Swinton mother who tragically lost her son to suicide. She wants to get the message out there that it's okay to talk about how you're feeling. After 10 years of not talking about it publicly, Pamela Higgins has spoken exclusively to Salford Now.
Mental health is a topic that dominates the nation's headlines, and Pamela wanted to encourage people to talk to one another. Now please be advised the following interview discusses some very serious issues. Our reporter Anna Mason went to meet her.
How old was he in that photo?
28. It was taken just before he got took in hospital at the Christmas.
Right.
Anthony Higgins took his own life 10 years ago. This is the first time his mum has had the courage to talk about the loss of her son.
Somebody on the ward had gone out and bought him vodka and he'd got drunk because it was his birthday. So they stopped his medication, which interrupted the flow of the medication, and he killed himself on the 7th, so 3 days after his birthday. He used to say he didn't want to be here, and the conversations we used to have, and I used to say to him, promise me you will not do. I won't, mum, but he did. With Anthony, I would say he'd gone too far. There was no coming back for Anthony. He genuinely thought that we would all be better off without him, because all he said, I only ever bring pain to you. And I said, but I'd rather you bring pain than you not bring anything.
To remember Anthony, Pam created a memorial at the window she would look out of and watch him play when he was younger. The memorial includes picture frames, a ship that Anthony's dad made, a tree with lights and candles. Pam will light a candle for Anthony every night.
78% of us would tell our friends and family that we are fine, even though we are suffering with mental health problems. This expresses the importance of talking about mental health and suicide to challenge the stigma behind it.
That's one of him. That's my daughter. That's another one of him growing up. Even when they're ill and they know they're suffering, I think they feel that they're going to be judged. Do you know what I mean? And especially with men. Because with men, you get this persona that they're supposed to be big, tough and strong, and I can cope with whatever's thrown at me. And they can't, they're no different from us women. If I can stop one person from doing what Anthony did, even if it's just going to the doctors and getting help, if I can stop one person from doing it and destroying the mum and dad's lives, or the sisters, or the brothers, or their own children, then that's why I want to do it, to raise awareness.
Salford City Council displayed yellow flags outside the Civic Centre to represent the suicides that have taken place in Salford. Anna Mason, Salford Now.
That's all for now. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.
Goodbye.